There we go. We are live.
Hey, it's Matt and Suzie.
At Suzilla
with Suzie Health Solutions. That's us. Yes, we missed our podcast last week because we were on vacation.
Yes.
Yes, and I hope you enjoyed your week. We certainly did. We had to take a break.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. This is the special kids edition. Yay! And it's kids and small business. Because since we run a small business and we've been doing so for
almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years, but it's 7 at this location.
Yeah.
It's one of the big things about small business is hey, oh my gosh, you can reclaim a lot of stuff.
Reclaim.
Correct. You can reclaim your time and spend more with your family.
Oh, okay. So rather than being at somebody else's scheduling whim, you're at your own scheduling whim.
Correct. And
as long as you take care of, business.
You take care of business. That's always the important thing. And so since February, we had been on special enrollment after special enrollment after special enrollment.
Right, for health insurance because of COVID. It was just go, 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 go. And it just finally rounded out the special enrollment, the COVID special enrollment on August 15th.
Which left us about a week
before school started today.
So
we took it.
So yeah, it was one of those things. It's like, yeah, you've got responsibilities, and we took care of it.
But we also have responsibility to ourselves and our family.
Correct. And so what we did is we saw that point drawing near. It's like, okay, well, where are we going to go?
Yep.
Because it was a serious debate. It's like, okay, do we go north to Canada, because our son's never been to Canada.
Right, and the border opened up on the 9th, but just as we were starting to put together plans, Delta kind of swept through, and we decided to put a pin in that.
Yeah, because
a while.
Yeah, it's to get up there, you have to have all your vaccinations, which we do.
Yeah,
but it was the 3-day
additional testing
that kind of hung us up.
And I totally understand that if I was going up for business or like if I had somebody up there I needed to go visit for I don't know, family reunion, or if someone was dying or something, I would have been there in a cold minute. This was just pure pleasure, so we figured we'd stay in the U.S. for this one.
Yeah, and so we went down to we did Portland.
We went to Portland, Oregon.
And we were able to spend at a first couple nights at a haunted hotel.
Yes.
Ooh. And we ended up getting upgraded.
Yep.
So we had a smoking hot deal, middle of downtown. It was
literally the middle of downtown. We could walk everywhere.
$160, and we got 2 rooms.
Yeah, we got a suite and the adjoining room for the cost of our little double that we paid for.
Yes,
and free ice cream.
And yeah, that was part of the deal. They had ice cream bars,
sandwiches from Ruby. I'm gonna have to look it up. Ruby something. Ruby Delight. Ruby ice cream. Ruby Jewel ice cream.
Yes.
Dang, man. That was a good ice cream sandwich.
So yeah, we were downtown, and there's like all the different playhouses. The museum was like couple blocks away. Financial districts were like 2 blocks away. We're right in the middle of downtown shopping. So it was quite a sight, because us being from the little town we are.
Yeah, well, Wenatchee's not that little. It's a small city.
Yeah, but it's no Portland size.
No, Portland's a city.
It's a city.
It's a city. And I'm not that used to cities, which is fine. That's my prerogative. But yeah, it was kind of nice to not have to be driving everywhere and finding parking. We did a little bit of driving the first couple of days, but mostly it was walking. Yeah,
we did a lot of walking. We wanted to, we had them park it in the garage, so ultra safe. and walked.
Yeah, and we walked, which was good for us. Yeah, Portland has about 600,000 more people than Wenatchee does.
Okay.
Yeah, much bigger. I had to look that up because I was curious. 654,000, and that's about 600,000 more than Wenatchee.
We did not have to show our vaccination documents.
No, but we were prepared if we needed it.
Correct.
We were masked up the entire time.
It was amazing on the level of math.
We go and we grab him from school, and once we had our office here and created the space for him, which one of the reasons why we chose this space is we could have space for him to be, is, we'd pick him up for school and we'd settle him up. He'd do his homework. He
could play his video games.
He could do what he needs to do and still be here with us. If he needed us, we're right there. He could,
if we wanted to go do something,
we could
early.
Just pick up and go.
Yeah.
It was just, it's worked out really, really nicely.
Well, one of the things that yesterday was a good example.
Uh-huh.
And it dawned on me, it's like, where were our parents in the whole, hey, the first day of, that parent, going through getting your schedule, the orientation stuff. Where were our parents?
They were working.
And my dad was working, my mom was working, your parents were the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And
yesterday I got to, spend an hour and a half of doing this is the space, that, here's your schedule, here's the pictures. And I got to be with my son on that kind of nerve-wracking first experience interaction with high school.
Now, I wasn't there because they were kind of trying to reduce the number of interactions by just having one parent.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to attend.
Well, you were doing the responsible thing.
Exactly.
There were some that were not. Just point blank, there were some that were not.
Yeah, well,
and that is part of the issue that is with the schools in our area right now.
And it's a big deal. We've got some very verbal people who although they say they want their kids back in person with in-person instructions, but they don't want the kids to wear masks.
Yeah, it's a real.
And a lot of them don't even. A lot of them won't even vaccinate.
Well, last night was a really good example.
Yeah.
Well, Monday. I think it was Monday.
Mm-hmm.
The Eastmont said, "Hey, we want to do what the school board said. Hey, we want to do whatever we want. Locally, they've been kind of pushed by that group.
Yeah.
And
so they wrote a letter to the governor who had put down the mask mandate for. Saying, well, and the school district sent off a letter back to him saying, well, we want to do it at local level, make our own choices.
Yeah. And then you had a group that showed up last night
at the Wenatchee
School Board.
Yes.
And they refused to mask up.
Yep. And they were sent by a local group to disrupt it.
Yeah.
It's basically, they went to disrupt the school board meeting because they're pushing their conservative agenda.
Well, it's not a conservative agenda.
It is too.
It is a agenda to spread COVID.
Well, it wasn't just that they were talking about, though.
No.
The initial call to arms for them was about the sex education and the red herring that is critical race theory. That was the initial. That was the initial call to arms, and it spread to COVID.
However, how do you do that? You show up without masks.
Exactly.
And then
the point was to disrupt the meeting, which they did.
And why was that meeting important to disrupt?
Because it had labor negotiations in it.
Because they were passing the budget for the coming years.
Oh, yeah, I think I missed that.
And they've actually got a couple candidates that they've sponsored to continue that further disruption of the school district.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things you got to be, mindful of the politics around the situation. And that's being supported by a local church.
Yeah. I didn't know if we wanted to actually name them.
No, I'm not going to name them. They're not worthy of being named.
No, that's true. But that's one of the things about being where we're at in this situation with being self-employed, and is we can be more active in our kids' his school's processing.
Yeah.
We're not. I'm gonna have to say raw self-employment. Okay, straight up. Yes, it is a 24/7 job, but because we don't work for somebody who's writing our schedule, we can say, I'm taking this time and I'm going to go and take care of my kid.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to take care of myself. I don't have to ask someone to take a vacation.
Which you did.
Yeah.
And that's really important because it's allowed us to, we figured out Common Core.
Yeah, it's true.
And we were steps along on the way. He's actually in trig this year?
Pre-calc, honors pre-calc.
Yeah.
And honors English.
Yeah.
And anatomy. I love that he's taking an anatomy class. I have no idea why that thrills me so much, but I'm just tickled by it.
It's Dr. Nick. But the important thing is we took the time and invested it.
Yes.
Because that is important,
That's exactly what it is. It's an investment in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as critical as investing money or investing, money. Your time, my time, Matt's time, Nick's time, it's all as valuable as if not more so. chasing the almighty dollar for somebody else's, to line somebody else's pockets, not as satisfying as actually having job satisfaction, career satisfaction, where I pay my bills, I keep the lights on, I buy the occasional pint of ice cream, and I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I also am not obsessed about being a millionaire because I have what I want and what I need.
Well, what most people don't understand is when you start out, there are points where you're going to have holes in your underwear and socks.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You buy a decent looking shirt, you buy decent looking slacks, and you buy decent looking shoes. The last thing you buy is the stuff people can't see.
We survived pretty much those first couple of years on my mom's canned jelly and peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh, heck yeah. Bless her for doing that.
Yeah, and that was
really good jelly.
Yeah, it was literally fair award-winning jelly.
Oh yeah, good stuff. The Tayberry. Oh my gosh.
She got back to canning, and she was retired at that point, and that she was like 200 miles away over on the west side, and we didn't get to see her. And every time she saw her, it's like, here, have more jelly, and we're like, awesome. This helps us a lot.
It did. It really did.
And that was
But yeah, we ran really lean for a long time. And we're not having Scrooge McDuck money fights and rolling in the dough, but we're keeping the lights on, we're paying the bills, and we're buying, occasionally we have a luxury item. Yeah. And we stop and get a fancy coffee once a week or so.
Yeah, we actually had to scale back our stuff.
We rebudgeted some of our funds for marketing purposes, and so we realized where the first place to go is fancy coffees.
Yeah, fancy coffees were the first to die for us,
and that's okay. That's not a big deal. That was luxury, and we knew it.
Yeah, and it's part of being responsible.
Exactly.
Because if we want our business to grow, there are points where it's like, okay, yeah, it's time to, go with, scale back those luxury items and put the money into other ways.
Exactly. Then it's not a bad thing.
No, and it's actually a very important lesson to teach. Because, I know our son's very aware of what goes on for money wise.
And that was not something I was raised with. Money was always a big secret in our house.
It was, in my house, it was completely different.
Yes.
Quite frankly, mom was, when I was Nick's age, mom was single mom, working her buns off. To get me into braces, she had to clean the orthodontist office. To pay a lot of bills, she actually saved money on stamps by putting the check in the disconnect notice. So yeah, there were times when we had like the water turned off and stuff.
Yeah, my family never got quite that tight. But again, my folks never talked to us about our financial situation. I know it got pretty scary there for a while. I don't think we ever lost a utility, but there was times when, it wasn't so good. Yeah,
my dad was on the other scale. He was killing it. And except here's the goofy thing with my dad killing it. I am making more money today than my dad at his age.
The dollar went farther then.
No.
No?
The reason why I'm making more money now than my father did at his age, at that age, he was dead at this point.
That's true. That's right. He passed away at 50.
It just made it over the cross of 51.
I thought he was 52. Oh. No. So, yeah,
So, yeah, I'm making more money than my dad because he was dead.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's my dad. My dad died at 56, so I got a couple more years.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's you. There are things to appreciate, and one of the things I learned to appreciate is oh my gosh, you get time on earth with my kid.
Yeah, that's absolutely one of the reasons why why we created this.
Mm-hmm.
And why you make a point of going to Nick's. We said, okay, Nick, which one was? They're only going to allow us one parent. Which one do you want? He pointed immediately to his dad.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we have different rules.
We have different rules, and
that's fine.
And
that's what it's supposed to be.
It was also important for you, to do Christmas concerts and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was because your parents didn't have time when you were
it was harder for them to do.
How many plays did they show up?
One maybe. And when I was doing community theater mm-hmm. through high school, I think I racked up. I didn't perform on stage only a couple of times, but I was backstage at like over 200 productions. Mm-hmm. I think my folks might have seen one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
Yeah, same with when I actually, was not as, was doing, choir my junior and senior year.
Yeah, my folks never went to my choir events. That just didn't happen.
Yeah, I think my mom went to like one or two.
Yeah, I know. No, to be fair, when I was in junior high, they didn't go. My mom mm-hmm. would go. Mm-hmm. I know it couldn't have been very fun, but she did go.
Well, it's one of those things. It's your priorities can often change when you're a parent.
Oh yeah.
And
that's
it's important.
Exactly. It's important that your priorities change, but it's also important that you communicate with your kid mm-hmm. about, what's important to them. Mm-hmm. Hey, do you want me here? And then interpret no as yes, you do. Mm-hmm. You just don't want to say it. It's communication. It's being a family. It's doing better. My goal was to be a better parent than my parents were. Mm-hmm. And I think I've done a pretty good job. My folks were better parents than their parents were. So we're building. We're building.
Yeah.
And we want Nick to be a better parent, should he choose to be a parent, than we were.
Yeah. And it's one of those things I had to remind our coffee gal Monday, because that's our agreed upon day to have coffee.
Yes, because Monday's coffee.
Yeah, Monday's coffee. It was that you got to treat your kids well, because they are going to pick what home you go to.
That's true. Yeah, they're gonna determine where you're gonna live your golden years.
And that is very important.
Yeah.
Alexa, mute.
It must be 9:00.
It's 8:45.
Oh, that's right. It goes off at 8:45.
I prep everything like that.
He does.
It's one of those things. We got a lot of automation.
We do. Which helps us.
Which helps us a lot.
It helps us carve time out. And because of the automation, we can say, okay, we are going to block out this hour in the calendar to go pick up Nick at school. Mm-hmm.
And it makes things a whole lot easier. It's why we do a lot of scheduling.
Yeah.
One of the key elements last year, we handled like 34 families in a day.
That was pretty amazing. That was unheard of. We'd never done it before.
We'd never quite done that.
It was a lot,
and
we can do it again. That's
a 2-person office.
Yeah,
fully booked out the schedule and fielding calls and walk-ins.
Yeah, walk-ins are becoming harder to manage, just because our scheduling is so tight.
It is, and I expect this year that time is going to be at a premium.
Yeah.
And the reason why is one of the years we only had like 12 plants. One of the years. Yeah,
there was one company to choose from, and they had a decent
variety.
The range was good, but there was less to choose from.
Yeah.
We have more to choose from this year.
Yeah, we're pushing over 30 plans.
Yeah.
In our local area. So
and 60 plus over in the more densely populated areas.
Correct.
And we work with people.
Yeah, we
do that all the time.
We joke. We actually had a call from Spain.
We did. We helped somebody who is moving into the country from Spain, and I'd never actually done that before.
And so
and we gave him the tools he needed to get health insurance when he gets here.
Correct. And that's what most people don't understand is that we not only do we help our immediate area, we are able to help further out.
Yes.
And
before Spain, Matt's favorite story was the guy who called us on a satellite phone from the Bering Sea.
Correct.
He was out in a
fishing boat.
It was a fishing boat. I wasn't sure.
He was not a crab.
Not a crab. It was a fishing boat out off Alaska, and he called from a satellite phone to talk to Matt about health insurance. That was the previous longest distance.
Correct.
Before that, and then I got my Spain call.
Then we got our Spain call. So yeah, we, as our business progresses, and there are gives and takes to everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Being free means we're also very responsible.
Yes, we don't have anybody that's we don't have sick pay, for example.
Correct, because we're self-employed.
Yeah.
So we are responsible for ourselves
and our family.
And our family. So yeah, if one of us gets sick, odds are the rest of us are going to get sick.
Mm-hmm. So we try not to get sick. That's why we're fully immunized and wear masks in our office, because we don't want to get sick.
Correct, and we and we say, hey, yeah, you probably should be doing that. It's like there's a reason by it.
Exactly.
We're responsible for ourselves and the people around us.
Mm-hmm. Not just our family, but our community.
Correct. And that's a big thing.
Take care of your community. That's one of the problems that I'm seeing. The things that I'm seeing is with the whole mask thing, is people not realizing it's not all about them. It's got to be about the community.
Well, it's weird. And I say this is weird because, I spent time with my grandparents growing up, the greatest generation.
Yes.
And, and the reason why they were called the greatest generation was they had duty.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great coming together of, hey, let's take care of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ration gas. Mm-hmm. Let's have the holes in our underwear and get this taken care of.
Did you know that people actually donated to the metal drives the bumpers on their cars and replaced them with wood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that great sense of duty, and it wasn't, could you imagine saying, if you're in London, I'm going to have the freedom to turn on my lights during the bomb raids.
Yeah, no.
That's kind of the same concept that's going on today. It's like we've got people running around saying, oh, it's freedom. And freedom doesn't mean stupid.
No.
And that's kind of where we're at is I don't know where the group went sideways. Because it's not community, it's not health.
Mm-mm.
It's, hey, let's get all these guys excited so that we can corral them down a path and we'll make money off them.
Yeah, it's always about the money.
Because folks are getting money off them.
Oh, yeah.
And I even had to point out is, one of the past things a lot of churches did was they wanted you to be written in your wills.
Mm-hmm. Or beneficiaries of life insurance policies.
Correct. So, they've got an excited congregation that is, if they they'll spend more money on the congregation because their options become limited. And if they die, well, guess what?
They still get money.
They still get a big chunk. So it's a win-win for the groups that are preaching destruction.
It's a win-win for the church. It's a win-win for the
church.
preachers. It's a lose-lose for the congregation.
Yeah,
and for the community.
So I have a feeling we're going to be dealing with that for a long, long time.
Yeah, we've Wenatchee's experienced cult situations before, and this is not. We just need to be aware that this is probably the direction we're going right now.
Yeah, and it's a very destructive cult.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's two major mini mega churches, and a couple others that are kind of trying to walk that path.
Walk that Jim Jones path.
Yeah, one in particular I find extremely alarming, and the other one is just extremely annoying. But they're basically the same situation. It's the same situation.
Yeah, it's who's fighting for more dollars.
Yeah, it's all about the dollars.
It's all about the dollars.
I blame the 80s for that. I think I'll blame Ronald Reagan.
You'll blame Reagan for that?
Yeah, let's blame Ronald Reagan.
See, it's hard to put a finger on because who did the Readings Fundamental? Well, that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I can't really. The 80s is kind of. I can't really.
Well, we also when we ran into it was called the Me generation.
Yeah.
And when we had movies like Wall Street where the mantra was greed is good and the whole he who dies with the most toys wins. It's that mentality that even if it kind of petered out for a while, it's still deeply ingrained in some of these people who are now coming into power.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was that particular period of time that created and that particular attitude during that time that's creating the problem. So
okay, I could see that extension carrying through.
Yeah. I mean, it was deeply ingrained. So the question is, what do we do next? How do we
it's and this is the important question, that you've got to. As kids are our focus because we run a family business. The question is what is the focus of your life? Is money the focus of your life, or is it family? And how is that reflected on how you live and how you conduct yourself?
Exactly.
So hey,
not just family but community.
Well, community is family.
Okay.
So, hey, everyone, have a great week, and we will talk with you all later, and have a good day.
Thanks for joining us on Suzie here at Suzie Health Solutions.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.